Hello and welcome to the next video on how to play a Quena, advanced techniques and so forth. So by now you've probably got a good tone, and ideally you can play the whole scale, although that doesn't come all at once. I know it took me like 1/32 on my first Quena to get all the notes to the point where I felt like I could just pick up the Quena and play every note in a good sound. And still it varies based on like your mood and how much you're connecting with the instrument in the moment. So right now, first you're gonna do play each note in the scale, and it's good to note that the higher notes, thus the notes that have less fingers covering, that you blow slightly harder, and the lower notes, you're more gentle. It's more of a mellow, like ooh, drone in. So we'll do that. We'll play the do re mi scale, starting at the low do. And then going back down. And once you've done that, once you've mastered that, you can work with, you heard that I played more of a continuous tone coming up and more of a staccato tone coming down. That's a simple technique called tonguing. Use your tongue on your teeth to stop and go on the airflow. So there's a big difference, a huge difference between doing this and doing this. So both techniques are great. What's incredible is that when you use them both in different scenarios, you can evoke entirely new feelings and tones and melodies than you thought for. I used to not use tonguing at all, and when I did, I was like, oh, this simple technique makes things much more diverse. Also, what's beautiful about the Quena, which is different from Native American flutes typically, the classical Native American flutes, that are beautiful, don't get me wrong, but you can break to higher octaves on this. So our all fingers and no fingers are two different octaves. And then I can go to the higher octave by, so if I play all fingers down and blow harder, and with certain tweak to how you're blowing into it, you have to feel it out for yourself, then I will get the same note as if I played no fingers. It's not exactly the same, but generally. So then from there I can keep going up on the next octave. It's not easy, even for me, not yet at least. Once I've warmed up, and once you're warmed up with the normal notes that you typically play, then it's much easier to break to the higher octave, and even go to even higher octaves. When I'm really warmed up, I've managed to get even to a third octave, and sky's the limit. So keep experimenting with your Quena, jam out, and other good things to know is keep in mind that although this is in the do re mi scale, and which is the major of some sort, I forget my music theory in that one, but the major scale, basic major scale. You can also play by covering half holes. You can learn other scales. So instead of going like, go. Play half notes, half holes, and then I was bending a little. That's similar to taking a guitar and bending the string as you stuff like that, getting a cool vibrato. And vibrato tones too. You want to use your diaphragm to oscillate the air anywhere in your body, but your air is most controlled when you use your center diaphragm to squeeze it out. So that's how you get the there. Last things to remember for good technique for any flute, singing, any instrument is be relaxed. Sometimes you forget, especially when I'm playing fast notes, that just relax and let things flow out with ease. If your face is getting all constricted, then you're making things harder for yourself. Which is interesting, because frequently, you'll be playing, you'll be in the moment, suddenly you'll realize, oh my god, I'm so tense, and then you relax, and then it just flows even more easily. So I encourage relaxation, and then you will achieve more tones, gentler tones, more harmonious tones, even louder tones from being relaxed. Another thing is breaking to the higher octaves. Sometimes I think, oh, I've got to blow harder to get to those higher octaves, but it's not entirely that. It's more like blowing more precise. So let it happen with ease, not forcefulness. Alright, I hope that's very helpful. I look forward to playing Quena with you sometime. Have a great day.